with this, I got the feeling that, well, he didn't really have any points to make, and well, I am right. I am always right, except when I'm not. But you can't prove I'm not without coming on stream. Haha. For those that already know me, know that I am a fairly big fan of Gundam. And I am also a decently big fan of Star Wars. I like watching the Star Wars shows. I've seen the movies. I've got a lightsaber, for fuck's sakes. So it caught my eye when I came across a video from a channel called It's a Gundam talking about Ahsoka, the latest Star Wars show to come out. So the vibes immediate, like, I haven't watched this channel before. I believe I've heard that they're a right-leaning reactionary type channel. They've got like a rant sona, if you will. I call them PNG tubers. But this video came out 10 days ago, and I liked Ahsoka. This video is titled Ahsoka, a show about nothing. Ahsoka isn't good? Oh, we will argue that. Anyways, let's see what they have to say.
You have no idea what you've unleashed.
Oh yeah, spoiler warning for Star Wars Rebels, as well as Ahsoka. I will be talking about a lot of detail of what happened in Ahsoka, and you would, if you watched Ahsoka without watching Star Wars Rebels, you'll miss a lot of context. Ahsoka was essentially a series made for people that have watched this other series.
There are some things far more frightening than death.
Like suicide. Why the loud...
Star Wars is dead and Kathleen Kennedy is diddling the corpse. Dave Filoni jerks off feverishly in the corner. Ahsoka is 8 episodes, 45 minutes. That's 360 minutes of absolute unbridled fun and misery. I mean pleasure. It's a wonderful show. I totally wouldn't use it to torture my enemies or ex-girlfriends that have deeply upset me or offended me in any sort of way. When I press play...
Well, he's definitely shown off so far that he's upset about it. I wonder what he's going to go into. Is he going to make the arguments that, like, they didn't establish Sabine as being, like, force sensitive kind of thing? Is he going to be upset that the majority of episodes don't actually have Ahsoka in them? I wonder how he's actually going to feel about Baylan. Baylan was probably one of the best characters of that show, to be honest.
On Ahsoka, my web browser immediately crashed. The Disney's website is once again a technological marvel.
My issue with the Disney website is that they don't let me access it while I have a VPN active. So I have to disable my VPN just to watch their fucking shows that I'm paying for.
Likes of which never been seen before. I can't get enough of the House of Mouse. Please hand me my cyanide capsules. This show not working was a clear sign that God didn't want me to watch it. But as we all know, I don't listen to God or my mother.
And God's not real.
Disney's aim was to make Ahsoka more inclusive by giving her Luke's story arc after the Return of the Jedi, because we don't need any more men. What's great about Ahsoka is the massive amount of women in power. I don't know
what. First of all, the most respected person in the show was fucking Thrawn. Baylan was also a high value character that people absolutely adored. Rest in peace to the actor. We're not going to get any more of Baylan, sadly. But for once, it's a show that happens to have more female characters in it. The wokeness, the horror.
What was more ridiculous? Ahsoka fighting spaceships in space, or the amount of women
Who would ever fight spaceships in space? That's just dumb.
In positions of power that seemed to not know what the hell was going on.
General Syndulla.
I swear to God, if this was Darth Vader doing that flip, they would have creamed their pants.
Might I have a word?
Of course, Chancellor.
I don't know what you and Leia are playing at, but I know she did not authorize your mission.
She did. Eventually.
Put your personal feelings aside and don't deny you have them.
What is this dude?
How real is the threat of Thrawn's return?
What? They don't like the fan service and pandering of Vader? Really? Huh. Is there anything about Star Wars that they do like, or do they just like ranting about shit?
We have to prepare for the worst.
But it's a perfect mirror of the current state of America. The only thing missing was a man in high heels and panties, and we really could have taken it to that next level of inclusion. As we all—
If only. But, okay, what is the problem with having different looking characters? Seriously. Like, what does it actually matter if there is a quote-unquote man in a dress character in the background? What would you guys actually care? Engaging like okay, that's a lot of chat. I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm a fan of the old Star Wars stuff. I will say it's not good writing. It's just people look to that as the iconic version of Star Wars, but it's a lot of the same shit, to be honest. Also saw Leia's cool and thought they were whiny bitch version of her and Obi-Wan was cringe. You mean where she was a literal fucking child? How dare she be cringe as a fucking child? The horror.
Oh no, Star Wars has always been inclusive, but not inclusive enough. But let's just remember the original Star Wars, when they had the world's first clearly, openly—
Oh, they see companies who use diversity as a shield for bad writing. So it went hand in hand. Yeah. There will be some companies that do that, but I'm going to say with Ahsoka, it was actually a pretty enjoyable series to watch, at least in my opinion. Had some pretty spiffy lightsaber fights. Had some engaging characters. It wrapped up storylines from previous series, though that is it's more of a thing that was made for the fans that have watched all the other stuff. They attracted the hate minorities vote. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes with reactionary channels. They kind of radicalize their audience, and in turn their audience radicalizes them. And then things get worse and worse, and eventually they go super mask off, and then things burn out for them. Look at the quartering. Look at what's his name before that? No bullshit.
homosexual robot named C-3PO. Progression was going on for decades before many of us were born. Oh well.
How can he be a homosexual if he is a robot with no sexual desires? He just has an effeminate way of presenting himself, and you guys associate feminine-esque men with gays. But I'm gonna be honest, there's like Quartering's name is Jeremy something. He's peed in his basement while his wife went out to get pizza. Yeah, like, It's a Gundam. I don't like this guy very much at all. Like, and literally all I've seen of his content is 2.5 minutes, because we're 2.5 minutes into this video.
Well, what do I know? I'm an old Star Wars fan. Now I'm just a big fat bigot. I will make you watch Ahsoka, dog. Fluffy, what are you doing? Fluffy! To say Ahsoka was predictable is to say that Darkseid Phil's pre-stream today will have lots of begging.
I received 0 contributions.
Who?
Literally nothing.
I can't wait for the next episode on the Snort Fort. And honestly, I will say, Darkseid Phil's begging, but
The only person in that orbit I respect vaguely is Mahler. I have no idea about Mahler at all.
a lot more interesting than the 8 episodes of Ahsoka. By the time I finished the last one, I thought to myself, man, I wonder what Phil's doing. Oh, by
What's your issue with the fucking story besides women and minorities?
the way, Ahsoka's a ninja now, but she's also a Ronin. Does it make sense? It doesn't need to, because
Are you dumb? Don't answer that, we already know.
nobody has any ideas. The first episode of Ahsoka, she discovers a MacGuffin. It's the map from Treasure Planet. This show was a thrill a minute. Did I mention that the MacGuffin map also works just like the map in Treasure Planet? It's kind of a theme of the show. They just like lift ideas from other TV shows and movies. I mean, they were inspired by
Oh, I forgot about that. Neat.
them. Dave Filoni's a genius. The overall theme of the
Why do you gotta have that loud audio clipping? It's fucking annoying. Why do people subscribe to this dude? He's like 760,000.
show had boss babe energy. If you saw a woman and she was on screen, not only was she in a position of power, but she was badass. And she didn't just kick one ass, she kicked 7 kinds of ass. Like the scene where, oh god, Sabine, she's riding the speeder, and they're like, Sabine, don't do it, Sabine, you're so bad.
Is she gonna stop?
Sabine, stand down.
She's not stopping.
How is this bad?
Sabine.
What's the issue?
She's crazy.
Cool, it established her as a daredevil. What's the big issue? Women can be reckless too, or did you not know that?
Oh my God! You go, girl!
She drifts the speeder under the X-Wing, but
That wasn't a drift, that was a skid.
how can you drift a vehicle that doesn't have will? Don't think about it. Dave Filoni's a genius. Pay no mind to the man.
You said it was drifting and then said it was different than that. What the hell is your problem with this? This is kind of a funny picture of Dave Filoni, by the way.
In black armor that looks like a character from Dark Souls.
An Inquisitor. Like all the other Inquisitors, the best kind of looking Inquisitor so far, in my opinion.
That's totally not a ripoff in any way, shape, or form. Don't worry, he doesn't matter. The writing is so good, they created a character specifically to sell toys and immediately killed him. And the best
Whoa, you're telling me a worldwide franchise fucking makes stuff specifically to sell toys? Gundam totally hasn't done that. Why is it the issue with Ahsoka? Is it just because there's a woman in front of it? By the way, that woman is also in, I would bet that she's in less than half of the actual show, because a lot of the show focuses on the side characters around her.
best part is when he died, he disappeared in a vapor like a wet fart. It's truly poetic. Did I say Dave Filoni's a
Did you fucking miss the latter half of this series where, you know, there was a lot of those zombies? This guy didn't watch the series.
genius and Star Wars is back and is better than ever? I don't know, that's what Twitter told me. And if I thought any other way, I obviously hated trans kids. The training of Sabine,
Wait, what?
Dave Filoni's a genius and Star Wars is back and is better than ever? I don't know, that's what Twitter told me. And if I thought any other way, I obviously hated trans kids.
God, you don't understand people's arguments at all, do you?
The training of Sabine, I can basically say, was a concept of bad writing and galactic hugs. I don't need her to be a Jedi, I need her to be herself, said Ahsoka. After our 2 female characters discover the power of friendship and building each other up, and then we can have it all. Or we can all win. Something like that. Doesn't matter. Dave Filoni's a genius. Did I mention that they had the rings from Halo? And
God, he would have cried so so much harder if Sabine didn't struggle at all with her training, and I'm using this term extremely loosely, mastery of the Force. She gets a little bit of ability to use the Force, but she's not a master like on the level of Luke or anything.
In this show, but they're not the rings from Halo that transport you to another universe, even though that was...
Are you dumb? Do you think the Halo rings don't transfer you to another universe? They wipe the universe clean of life. Play the shit and watch the shit you're talking about. That, and in Ahsoka, that's a hyperspace ring. You know those things that the Jedi starships used in the original, or not the original trilogy, in the prequel trilogy to travel between systems? It's just a giant version of that. So they can go to a literal another galaxy. God, this guy is dumb.
Was in Halo, but it's in Star Wars. Dave Filoni came up with it first. Did I also talk about the fantastically whimsical ideas Dave Filoni lifted from Treasure Planet? I mean, was inspired by?
Homaged?
With the galactic space whales? How did he come up with something so original and different and new?
How did you come up with your so original rant, Sona, where you wear a Gundam helmet and then whine about nerd culture?
Harrison Syndulla. She's a single mother that's a general, proving yet again that women can not only have family, but they can have a career. And the best part is, she brings her kid to the middle of wars. I have nothing for this. I've never been so inspired in all of my life. If that wasn't good enough for you, the child is incredibly gifted. He can hear lightsaber duels happening inside of Ahsoka's mind. Or...
Okay, dude, figure out what the Force is, and then figure out how people connect and communicate through the Force, because it was established long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away that you can connect with people through the Force. And the Ahsoka lightsaber duel that he was just referencing here was a duel done in the plane between worlds or some shit. It's like a spot between life and death where like the Force ghosts live, and she was talking with the Force ghost of Anakin. So like, how dare this kid be Force sensitive? It makes no sense to me. It hurt my brain.
In between the place of the living and the dead. I don't know. The kid is just brilliant. He's amazing. I can't get enough of him. If only
he's Force sensitive. You can't get enough of him because he's a guy and you hate women.
He was a woman. Ahsoka not only dies, but she meets the King of Pop, aka...
She doesn't die, you idiot. She half dies. Duh.
Anakin Skywalker. I don't know who did the airbrushing for Hayden Christensen, but they must have worked in a morgue, because that's what he looked like. An animated corpse brought back for a few fat little paychecks. Do you remember the Clone Wars? If you don't, we're going to get a whole sequence about it that I'm going to force you to look at.
This scene was actually really, really important to me, or important in my opinion, because holy shit, does it put into perspective how young Ahsoka was during the Clone Wars. Like, seriously, in the 3D animated show, she seemed like she's a lot older, maybe 16, 17. But in this show, she looks like she's 12 or 13 on the front lines being trained to be a general. That's pretty fucked up.
If I could pit Dave Filoni's face, I'd do it.
Well, nice knowing you.
He wanted to say punch, but he was too cowardly to actually say it.
I'll see you on BitChute. You are on BitChute, aren't you?
After Ahsoka escapes death fighting with Anakin Skywalker in a sequence I can best describe as...
Escapes death? Do you think Anakin was actually trying to kill her there? You probably do.
Member berries, she is brought back, and she wears all white. This has absolutely no inspiration from Lord of the Rings. I don't know why anyone's worried about...
I hate this guy.
Commander Thrawn. The man couldn't kill 4 people on a desolate planet by himself, even with the help of 2 fallen Jedis. And
You realize that those turbo lasers tend to lock onto like the vehicle signals. So like when they weren't on horses, they were on fucking alien dogs. So like good luck getting a turbo laser from orbit to target dogs. Hey, you could just ask Israel. They're getting pretty good at that.
Everybody's like, oh my god, Commander Thrawn is coming back. Oh no, the Empire. How can you be afraid of this dude? He's more incompetent than the stormtroopers they send. And don't even get me started on that. The trope of stormtroopers not being able to shoot. Mother of God. They literally circle Ahsoka and nobody shoots her in the back. They just wait for the...
They just let their leader fight the one-on-one duel. How horrible of them. It's totally never done before anywhere else.
Asian girl, Sabine, to show up and then go, I'm here to help. And,
I also love how he keeps complaining about how all of Dave Filoni's stuff is like ripped from other things, but like dude's wearing just a Gundam helmet for his original character. His channel name is It's a Gundam. He's riding the Misery Machine, not the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, but the Misery Machine, because this guy is so fucking creative and has tons of great ideas of his own.
oh, this show sucks. Oh, and the zombie stormtroopers talk about a analogy for the series itself. It is a rotted corpse they keep bringing back from the dead and reanimating to try and squeeze out an extra few dimes and nickels, as their toys don't sell in the damn stores and they keep ending up at like Costco and the Dollar General, and where eventually they can't.
Maybe they're trying to over market their stuff and they can pull back on that a little bit. Maybe. Or maybe they should just burn and die like this guy wants them to. That's the vibe I'm getting that he's saying.
Can't even sell them there, and then they throw the Star Wars toys into a landfill to rot and just ruin the planet, as our politicians sit there and go, oh, it's not the major companies.
Do you actually care about the planet? Because I don't think you do.
Filling landfills with Star Wars toys, it's you for having a gas stove, you idiot. Dave Filoni should...
Oh yeah, this guy's as dumb as I thought. Let's listen to that one more time.
Politicians sit there and go, and the Dollar General, and where eventually they can't even sell them there, and then they throw the Star Wars toys into a landfill to rot and just ruin the planet, as our politicians sit there and go, oh, it's not the major companies filling landfills with Star Wars toys, it's you for having a gas stove, you idiot. Dave...
No, it's the big companies that do all the pollution into the atmosphere. Like all of those fucking... what are they called? Those giant factories with those big towers that spew out the carbon into the atmosphere. That's the main problem with the climate crisis and the contributors of it. It's not the individuals, it's not their fucking gas stoves, it's not their gas cars, it's not even their Hummers, it's the mega corporations that are just pumping out the pollution. This guy completely misses the point.
Filoni should be completely and utterly just disgusted with himself. Now, what do? Oh, let's give the Death Star ship a tramp stamp tattoo on its belly. There.
Give it a womb tattoo too. Wait, he said on the belly. Yeah, bro, it's a womb tattoo. Do you not know that?
There's the move to make nothing says badass like tribal tattoos and wrap all the stormtroopers in some gold in a...
Wait, you said Death Star. That's a Star Destroyer. Idiot.
Couple of red rags for what? Who the hell knows? Oh, and the witches that do magic powers that...
Those red rags, maybe that's just keeping it together. Because, you know, they've been stranded for 10 years in that other galaxy. And then they got turned into zombies after. But, like... Maybe it's holding the armor together. I don't know. I do think it's kind of dumb. But, like, there are better ways to show you've been wearing the same suit of armor for 10 years.
seem to be absolutely useless.
Is he about to go off on the sisters? Yeah, probably.
They brought back zombie stormtroopers to do all. And they made this other chick like a witch with a flame sword, and she ultimately died. It made nothing matters, dude. This all.
You don't know about the Sisters of Dathomir, huh? Have you ever watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels? Because like they are talked about a lot in those series. Like they are, at the very least in the Clone Wars, they come back more than once, and they are pivotal in some of the storylines. Just saying.
All doesn't matter.
Especially if you like Darth Maul.
The dude who died at the end of this got out easily because he doesn't have to be in season 2 that you know.
God, season 2 would have been so fucking amazing if Ray Stevenson was still around. He did such an amazing job. I loved his character. There was so much potential with that storyline.
Was coming anyway because Disney has no ideas, and Bob Iger is trusting Dave Filoni to do something because Kathleen Kennedy.
I love that you say that Disney has no ideas when you don't have anything original about your channel.
Kennedy is absolutely and utterly incompetent. They took a $4 billion IP and turned it into a pile of shit that ironically is worth more than a landfill full of Star Wars toys. On a scale of...
That is ironically worth more than... What? Oh my god. Can this guy make a coherent point, please?
Of 1 to 10, I give
Putting some actual good critique. I'll probably check it out, just probably not on stream. Because like if I'm going over a legitimate review, I'm not going to be arguing directly with it. I'm probably going to be consuming a lot more of the content. With this, I got the feeling that, well, he didn't really have any points to make, and well, I am right. I am always right, except when I'm not. But you can't prove I'm not without coming on stream. Haha.
Give it Ahsoka 3. If you're having trouble sleeping,
so it's mid at least.
The show will knock you out like Ambien. It makes absolutely no sense, and it doesn't matter. And it makes you wonder just how bad Daredevil was. That Disney actually looked at their 9 episodes of that and said, holy hell, this is bad. We gotta start from the beginning. I wasted my life watching it. I've taken shits that were more rewarding than watching Ahsoka. I have no analogy.
God, I've taken more shits that, or I've taken shits that make better arguments than this guy. He's just mad. He's literally just, let's finish the rant anyways. He's just mad.
Other than the show sucks, which isn't really articulate. But does it deserve to be articulated? Do I need to be verbally dexterous to convey how bad a show is? And
it would help if you actually want to convince people of why you believe the things you believe, instead of just spouting random shit and expecting people to just nod and agree with you because, you know, you've got a big channel. In my opinion.
Hayden Christensen, my god, the man's eyes look like a ghoul. He is dead inside. The reality is sunken in that he will forever be Anakin Skywalker as they constantly drag him out as the years go on to do more Star Wars crap.
You know, he probably makes a lot of... Yeah, I'm not surprised he's got that in his thumbnail. Hayden Christensen probably makes a pretty decent chunk of money off of each appearance, so like, why you mad? I get the feeling this is a is this, what's it, ah, fuck, what was it called? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? That's the vibe I'm getting.
Hey,
a lot of rightoids tend to miss that, the point of that movie too.
Hayden, you want to come back and be Anakin Skywalker again and talk to Rosario Dawson, a 45-year-old woman looking every bit of it when she does her Star Wars fights? Oh, and the sword fight. I've seen more professional lightsaber work at Comic-Con, dude.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to say this guy hasn't actually watched it. He's just mad. He's seen some clips on Twitter. He's seen some clips on YouTube. And he's pumping out a video to shit on the latest new thing. Because that's what these reactionary channels are all about. They just tend to They like to shit on stuff. They don't offer much of any good insight into things. They don't really care. They just want their money. Like, for fuck's sakes, this guy's... How does he have 750,000 subs? That's the most annoying part to me. I have been noticing that, like, conservative channels or the grifter type channels tend to be falling off a bit more from the mainstream audiences. Oh, a video from Mahler. Just don't listen to this guy's friends. They're awful and racist enablers. Mahler is aggressively silent on his opinion on anything vaguely political. Bro is ultra instinct level of avoiding. Really?
Season 5.
45 minutes. 1 million views on this? Christ, maybe I'll go over it while I build a model kit or something. But yeah, a lot of these reactionary channels, I've seen them losing success in the mainstream eyes, like the Quartering, the Black Pigeon Speaks, Styx Hexenhammer, fuck, what was that other one? No bullshit. Those kinds of people have been falling off. But it seems like in the anime and VTuber scenes, there's people that, well, they're still pretty fucking relevant despite doing the exact same thing as the other people that, well, that have been failing. They've been falling off. So hopefully the rest of the grifters will trend in the same direction as VTubing becomes more mainstream and more reactionaries leave the area, or I guess more progressives join it. That's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.